If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to Downfall Network for more cool content. What's up, everyone? Thralls Metal here once again. I'm Necrotic Nick.
I'm Jammin Jon.
Je m'appelle Rin.
And that is a little bit of a theme here because we have an album review for you, and we are reviewing the newest offering from Kataklysm.
J'ai soif. Je voudrais un bière.
What he said about beer. It's definitely beer. He said something about beer. Long-standing death metal band from Quebec. This comes out on the 25th of September on Nuclear Blast Records. This band formed in 1991. And this is their 14th album, and honestly, I haven't listened to a lot of the earlier stuff, so you're gonna have to forgive me in terms of like their very early stuff. I got into them around In the Arms of Devastation and pretty much got everything I could after and before that, including this one, which is definitely different right away. This is their first album using 7-string guitars, and believe me, it's noticeable.
Yes, they're tuned to Y.
Tuned to floppy.
Why are you tuned to this?
Floppy.
Tuned to Meshuggah. Just, it's very, I want to say genty, but the riffs aren't genty.
It's not. The tone.
But they are?
The tone alludes to like genty, but it never goes genty because they never leave the 4/4 time signature they're in.
Yeah, so you don't get the polyrhythmic stuff, but what you do get is very low-tuned death metal. The opening track, The Kill Shot, first single I heard from it, absolute banger.
Nasty.
Yes.
Just comes out ripping.
Nasty.
Fast blast beats, some hyper blasts in there, like those gravity blasts that they're well known for. But this guitar tone, I don't know, I was kind of at odds with throughout this album, but on this song, it kind of really worked. Like, this was one of the most aggressive songs I've heard them do in years.
Yeah, I like the song.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be in the pit when this song happens.
No. The breakdowns, you just die.
Yeah, normally I try not to stand near the pit just anymore.
French fries and gravy all over the place.
Poutine. That's not dirty. Or is it?
Je femme, je voudrais un poutine.
Now, these songs kind of work in pairs, or at least that's what I got out of this, because the next song, Cut Me Down, also very aggressive, but
Banger.
different. It's like melodic death metal aggressive. It's like if Meshuggah was playing At the Gates, or At the Gates was playing Meshuggah, one or the other.
But they were tuned to Q for Quebecois.
It's low, it's muddy.
Not as violent.
Not as violent, but catchy.
Yeah.
And it has a really cool signature riff that I'm reasonably sure At the Gates wrote before, but we'll let Kataklysm have it.
Yep.
Because they did a really good job with it. And in terms of like this overall aggression, it's really out front, namely like the two tracks. You really don't get that sort of fast-paced aggression until you get down to Defiant later in the album, which brings back the blast beats, gravity blasts, big chuggy, nasty, thrashy sections.
I was defiant. I actually wrote, I won't write notes.
That'll teach him.
But along the middle of the album, this is where things, well, kind of went off the rails, at least for me.
Yeah.
Probably for you guys.
Yep. It doesn't have the 2020 death metal feel. It has the 2010s metalcore feel.
It really does.
I hate to say it.
And it's odd, like, all right, this far into their career, they made one big change with the 7-string guitars, but it feels like this change might have helped a little bit more like 10 years ago when I think this style was really starting to come up, like Periphery started getting big, and Animals as leaders burst on the scene. Now it just seems, I don't know, like they're a little late to the game, like, you know, old dogs, not so new tricks. You know, it's just kind of dated tricks. You get some songs like Stitches, The Way Back Home.
It's not the orgy song.
Yeah, it's not the orgy song.
Stitches sound like super down-tuned Seven Dust.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the lyrics on this album are dumb as hell.
The vocals
The
are
vocals
cool.
are good.
Yeah.
He's screaming his dick off about dumb shit.
Yes.
Yes.
His delivery's solid. Sometimes the cadence can be a little off, but for the most part...
That's because they use the metric system.
Yeah, there it is.
Well,
That's
yeah.
the way I do it.
Time signatures.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's much easier.
I never
than
thought
that.
about that.
Right. That's
I never
why.
thought about the metric
That's-
system
yeah.
contributing to... Huh.
It's a Royale with cheese.
But yeah, the whole middle of the album, I don't know, it becomes a very mid-tempo affair, and these songs really just kind of run into each other Focus to Destroy You, and Underneath the Scars, which Underneath the Scars I think has some cool moments in it, namely
nasty bridge.
That disgusting bridge and that big breakdown at the end.
Oh, I didn't even write that down. It had a breakdown. All these songs have a breakdown.
Yeah.
The breakdowns in these songs are the redeeming qualities of these songs.
They all kind of start strong and end strong.
The song Icarus Fallen, they hired I'm pretty sure they hired a cashier from Hot Topic to do Fruity Loops on his tablet.
There is that weird drum loop that comes in. They also have a piano on there in the beginning.
Yeah, the beginning, the first part of the song is really cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was neat.
Yeah.
That weird
that
piano.
stutter in the snare drum.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a loop in there like, oh.
It just kind of comes out of nowhere.
Cool. It's cool.
You remember that game for PlayStation 2, The Music Maker?
Parappa the Rapper?
Well, that too. But yeah, Music Maker.
Punch, it's all in the mind.
Ooh, if you want to test me, you will find.
Honestly, the first thing I thought of was Linkin Park, and I'm listening to Cataclysm. I shouldn't be thinking about Linkin Park ever.
Probably not so much.
Nope.
It's out of place, but I like the beginning. The beginning's really cool. It kind of reminded me of Paradise Lost, which they put out an absolute banger of an album this year.
They did.
And that's weird how it kind of pairs up with the last track, When It's Over, which is also kind of downtrodden and melancholy.
Not the Sugar Ray song.
No, not that one.
Oh, I wrote down The Record Is Over.
I don't know, like most of this album, I feel like it was like an identity crisis. Like they maybe felt the need to change and present themselves in some different style, and I don't know, like try to spice up something that really didn't need that much spicing up.
The production was decent.
It was
Colin Richardson.
Crispy.
Yeah,
Modern. For being so down-tuned, it should have sounded like Muddy Butt, but it was crystal clear. But
I had some complaints about like some of like the mid-tempo sections where they're just hammering those top strings. Some of the riffs become kind of indistinguishable, but I mean you kind of can get that with big low tones. Overall, I don't know. This is an odd album to listen to because all right, you're expecting death metal. This is Cataclysm. They've been kind of a staple for a while. Arguably kind of on that cusp of melodic death metal and regular death metal, but recognizable as death metal. This doesn't feel entirely like a death metal album. It's like
I wouldn't call it death metal.
No, I would not at all.
Groove metal?
If Seven Dust growled during their songs,
as close.
I mean, it really is, and I hate to say that because it's Cataclysm, but I mean,
But
it really.
Seven Dust is awesome.
It sounded
cool.
Kind of a weird compliment.
It sounded like Seven Dust is a great band. I love those guys. I've always loved those dudes. But I mean, it sounded uninspired.
It sounds like they were more inspired by like a new guitar tone.
Yeah.
But the songs around it.
And don't get me wrong,
hit or miss.
Normally I would kind of like something like that if it was a different band. But we were reviewing a Cataclysm album, not Fit for an Autopsy.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, I can only give this like 2.5. The songs I like on here are killer. But overall, it feels out of place. I don't know what the identity of this album is. Like, it doesn't feel like its foot's firmly planted in the death metal camp or melodic death metal, maybe like a toe in gent. I don't know. It's kind of an odd album, but it has some cool moments on it. It's just, it doesn't really jive with me very much.
Nope. I'm gonna give it 2 stars. If this was a different band and an improvement in their sound, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. But it's Cataclysm. I got into Cataclysm during, Shadows and Dust era, and that record was sweet.
Yeah.
And then I started listening to their newer stuff, and I was like, this is kind of not...
Sweet.
It's generic in the sense that there are 1,000 other bands that have written this record before in the same guitar tuning.
There's such a divide between the good songs and the bad songs.
I only have one song starred, and the one I just didn't want to write notes for. I was Defiant, track 7.
I'm not all of that familiar with Cataclysm's previous work. The lyrics are dumb, but I don't think English is his first language.
No.
I don't think he's speaking English at home, so...
Look into my eyes, fire in there.
Like...
Max Cavalera.
Yep.
Yeah.
We love Max.
The guitars were crunchy, down-tuned. I don't know. I don't hate this record. I really like 4 songs. It's 9 song, that's pretty good. I'll give it a 3 out of 5. More bon than bon. I took 2 years of French, that's all I got. Je voudrais ancienne. I would like boobs. Cataclysm
Yeah, like
I like them.
it's neat that they're still around. They've been around a long time. That's great. I'm glad you guys are still around. I'd still go see Cataclysm.
Oh yeah, the Kataklysm puts on a killer
Because
show.
I've never seen Cataclysm, first of all, so
Twice.
shut up.
They're good.
Dynafire.
Keep on Canadian. Kill Shot is a banger.
Yes.
It is.
So, if you enjoyed the review, give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe because we do stuff like this all the time.
The time.
We will catch you guys later.
Au revoir.